thought I would just say something about the really bad winds that have battered Scotland over the last day or so. It's been now affectionately known as Hurricane BawBag. Well, Hurricane BawBag isn't actually a hurricane. It's something known as an extratropical cyclone, and they tend to be very common due to the Gulf Stream and the jet stream, which sort of projects weather, like bad weather, across the Atlantic towards the UK. Now, extratropical storms can either be as weak as a tropical depression with winds around 35 miles an hour or so, or they can be as strong as a hurricane. Now, the difference between a hurricane and an extratropical cyclone is that hurricanes have a massive warm air at their core, and that's where they derive all their energy from, whereas extratropical cyclones have a core of cold air. Back in 1986, the pressure within an extratropical cyclone near Iceland dropped to below 920 hectopascals, and that's the equivalent pressure as a Category 5 hurricane, so these winds can be quite damaging. And these storms are possibly going to be becoming more common. Just 2 weeks ago, the weather forecast man said that we had dodged a bullet because a storm almost identical to Hurricane BawBag had just missed the UK. And if you think back to when Hurricane Katia hit the UK, it was no longer a hurricane by the time it had got here. It had been absorbed into one of these extratropical cyclones, but the hurricanes get projected along the Gulf Stream, and that's how they end up sort of getting near the UK. So considering we've had very, very strange weather this year, like a very, very roasting warm spring, basically no summers, nothing special to write home about with that, and then we had a very hot autumn, and our flowers actually flowered twice here this year, which is very unusual. In the future, I would be expecting to see more of these very strong extratropical cyclones during the winter, and possibly even some hurricanes managing to reach Britain, depending on sea temperature if it stays warm enough. Now, I'm not scaremongering because I love bad weather, so bring it on. P.S. Stay tuned for Snowstorm Dug Pish. No be long now, eh?